Hey, hi, I'm Haren, founder and CEO of Pulse Gen Technologies. So Pulse was incorporated and incepted in August 2024 with the idea of turning fragmented, scattered, and siloed customer feedback into revenue-driven actions for large enterprises that are really focused on being data-driven as a company. I and my co-founders Alok and Vatsal came together to bridge this gap between the voice of customer and the entire product development and build process for SaaS and technology companies in general. So that's how we started. So I think pre-large language models and generative AI, it was not easy to read, analyze, and do other multiple actions on top of subjective data. I think objective data like numbers and analysis market existed for a pretty long period of time, that is analytics and all these segments. But then with large language models stepping in and people or AI being able to understand the sentiments and the rigor behind text and constructive or voice data, in fact also, that gave us the liberty to perform certain actions using AI on top of feedback as a model or as the base, which could actually give us a lot of actions that we could provide for our end customers per se. Like our identity analyze and prioritize engine starts from cleansing, classifying all this raw, scattered, unstructured data, all the way from analyzing, enriching, and even prioritizing and setting up actions for the end customer, which today takes a humongous amount of people time. And in fact, few companies don't even do this because it is manually impossible to remember and perform all these actions. So that's how we came into the picture. I think as a platform, we have 16 to 18 agents we have built for each of vertical actions that I have been talking about, and all of them are orchestrated. I think it's really difficult to not only Pulse but any agentic company to be replicated, because there are a lot of experiments that would have happened for each agent to perform at its own scale and performance, and then orchestrating all of them together and getting those onto a platform to seamlessly be connected and do actions end to end is not easy. And the second biggest reason being the contextualization for our specific use case, right? I mean, when we surface Pulse to any company, I think being an evangelist or being a product manager or being a customer success person, imagine Pulse being that and performing at 10x, 20x of efficiency is not easier just by replicating it or leaving it for OpenAI systems. Fundamentally, I mean, there are claims that your integration adopters could come from all these open models and stuff, but we don't believe that's seamlessly possible, because we are talking about tons of system of records that has been existent for the last 10-15 years of the way SORs industries have run. That's point number one. Point number two, I think it's going to get better but not challenging. I think with more proficiency of LLMs and generative AI getting built, the ease of using AI applications would get more and more better. And I think constructively that's going to help end enterprises, large enterprises, in adopting to AI much easier, but rather than saying it might get complicated for application businesses like us powered by AI. So we are talking about a software as a services company that has been an industry leader, recognized by Gartner also in their own space. And they were struggling literally to read data or consume and be data driven from data coming from systems, from typical system of records like support desk, call transcribing tools, their own emails, and communication channels that exist internally within for their own brainstorming and for their own customers also, and obviously survey forums and so on and so forth. When Pulse entered their ecosystem and started consuming all this data and performing all the actions it could, we saw a leading indicator of close to 500,000 or more savings that happened on their most critical resources who were trying to spend time on that, leaving their primary KPI. And the lagging indicators was churn, like Pulse's incredible credibility of surfacing few things like risk alerts, churn analysis, what are the more priority things, hypothetical scenarios of what happens when something is built and how much revenue that would eventually yield in a quarter or two. That is the capability of Pulse to actually impact new ARR, existing revenue retention, and also the promoter score of the companies, were what we could impact in the last 6 to 9 months of working with this firm. Yeah, I think we started off with my co-founders coming on board, Alok, who's my school friend, I know him for last 25 years, and Vatsal, a sub-junior of mine from college, but then more a brother to me. So we three came together because I was seeing the problem from the customer-facing side and they were seeing it from the engineering side. Hence, we could bridge together closer, and also with a couple of founding team members who came from my last organizations, who believed in the vision, who believed in the problem we could solve. All of us came together, as I said, in August 2024, and then it's been a year of an amazing journey. Yeah, I think we think we have a strong capability of becoming the AI native feedback operating system for every enterprise there globally. So today we are serving SaaS and technology companies, and in the next 3 to 6 months, we envision to serve every digital native enterprise out there in the world and becoming the default AI native OS for feedback intelligence. Signals such as I told you, support tickets, calls, chats, survey forums, any subjective data that comes from the raw feedback sources, that is directly from the customers, or even in consumer businesses, we're talking about reviews on App Store and Play Store or any aggregator platforms. So all of them are plugged into Pulse either through APIs or with a dump uploaded on the platform. Yeah, with just a couple of clicks on the platform. So basically, once all the backend analysis of AI happens on all this feedback and they surface to be insights, there are two fundamentals on which Pulse as a platform operates: visibility and conviction. So once all the visibility mechanism happens for all the users using it, they can actually use different operating mechanisms on the platform, just giving prompts and saying, hey, these are my metrics. I want to be US first, or I want to be international market first and focus on this product line. Now can you tell me in maybe a couple of clicks, what can actually take the number 1, number 2, number 3 spots for me to start building or have a prioritized roadmap? And Pulse does that for you in a couple of seconds. So it's as simple as clicking a couple of buttons or even writing a sentence. In terms of adoption, again, in the product intelligence side of things, we're seeing product teams and customer success teams exceptionally adopting, and also the CXO layer. And in the futuristic aspect, when we go and move on to customer experience and business intelligence, we see different plethora of functions that could really make use of the platform, starting from customer experience, business operations, marketing, and you name it, we can put that surface on the board. Yeah, I think the start has been amazing since we have started talking to GeoGen Next and the vision they had on how they would want to help startups. That's what actually intrigued us to be a part of the cohort. And for the last 2-3 days, the kind of people we're getting a chance to introduce ourselves to, the insights we have been receiving, and on top of that, what we could do for Jio and Reliance as a product and a platform gives more of the goosebumps, and really looking forward to the next few months of being part of the cohort.